Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm yet again going to be trying some products that seem to be pretty popular and they are all new things which I'm very excited about. I've got the new e.l.f. bronzers, I've got the new Rare Beauty bronzers, I've got the new e.l.f. powders, I've got the Fenty Beauty setting mist, I've got the new MAC lipstick, those NYX lip stain things, and actually quite a lot more. Grab a drink and let's do it. Also, I'm getting my hair done next week, so the grey root will hopefully be gone. This is my natural hair colour, right? Why does it actually look the same colour as my bodysuit? My natural hair colour is this weird like mousy brown, light brown, dark blonde. And so now that I've dyed my hair darker, as my roots have come in, they look grey. Maybe get like the occasional bit of like little blonde put in around the front. But I think overall I just want it to be darker and like lower maintenance. But this is not low maintenance. How did I forget that I have these? Has anyone else seen the TikToks of this Lumi glass highlighter thing? I'm so excited to try that. I have got no new primer, foundation, or concealer. Something that I'm interested in ordering though, and I've seen a couple of people comment this actually, that either they really like it or they would like me to test it, is the Vive Skin Nova foundation. I think it's like a foundation or like a skin tint. I know they have like a primer kind of thing, but I really am keen to try the skin tint. So if anyone has tried that, please let me know what you think of it. If you think I would like it maybe, because I can definitely give that one a try. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any other new foundations that have launched that I've been interested in. I saw that NYX are doing these new like dewy skin tint things, but I haven't seen them. I don't think they've launched in the UK yet. Also, my skin this week has been freaking out. I know there's something hormonally changed this week because I'm feeling better in myself, but my skin is like the worst it's been in a long time. But hey, at least I have a bit more energy. Also, if you couldn't tell, I have not been fake tanning at all recently. This is just my true form. I've just used the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint in the shade 03. This is my pale shade, but it is the tiniest little bit dark. I do have to kind of drag it down my neck a little bit. Unintentionally using two Maybelline products. I'm just using some of the, what's this called? Eraser everywhere. Apparently. But yeah, I did a little question box thing on my Instagram and I asked which things you guys were the most excited about in terms of new launches. 90% of the answers were the new Rare Beauty contour ones. A lot of people said the Rhode lip liners, but they went out of stock like that. So when they come back in stock, I'll try and get hold of those. e.l.f. actually launched their contour ones, like liquid contours. What the heck? Why is that one sparkly? e.l.f. launched their ones about a month ago, I want to say. And then Rare Beauty came out of theirs and then I was like, I have both, so I may as well do a little comparison. I did originally buy the Rare Beauty one, but then today I did actually go to a Rare Beauty event and they gifted me the lighter shade. I originally bought the shade Mellow and I did some like reels, TikToks about this one in particular. But I'm interested today to try the shade Gentle because Mellow is more of like a bronzer shade. It's still on the cooler side of a bronzer. It's not like orange, but compared to like this shade, which is the lighter shade, which is called Gentle, this one looks a lot more kind of grey. That's that one there. Yeah, that definitely looks more cool toned. I'm gonna use this on my nose. Let's do a couple little dots, which is what Nikki Makeup, basically the event I went to today was hosted by Nikki Makeup, who is a makeup artist. She is responsible for this iconic Sabrina Carpenter makeup look. I will put a picture on the screen. And she did a little makeup masterclass, which was such an interesting event to go to. And her technique with these was doing these little dots. Actually, I'm going to use the other shade Mellow just to show you for all of you guys that don't have TikToks and Instagram. Because YouTube shorts, for me anyway, I still can't do the 3-minute shorts. But she did this little dot technique. Oh, and then she did a few dots onto the eyelid, which I may as well do the same. Another technique that I noticed is with the cream contour, she kind of did these sort of swirling motions, which normally I would not suggest doing that. I would normally suggest patting it. But I think because of the formula of these, it's so lightweight and easily blendable that you can actually kind of get away with doing that. Although if you've got like a thick full coverage foundation, you probably don't want to do that too much because it might move it around. But yeah, these blend so easily. So I've just used Mellow on my forehead and then I used the cooler tone shade. So I've used Mellow on my forehead and Gentle down my nose. But she really worked it into the temples on one of the models that had a slightly, I guess, shorter forehead. She didn't put any on the forehead because she said that she didn't really need to like contour there. I just like to do it anyway. I also noticed that she was doing this and then to blend the edges, she would flip her brush around to use the part of the brush that she'd not already used to kind of diffuse it a little bit more. And then with the blushes, she did more of a patting motion, and again, she kept flipping the brush upside down to blend it out, which I thought was interesting. So my mic started buzzing really loudly, but I was just saying that this is definitely more of a cooler tone contour shade. If you have got fair skin and you're looking for something that is more of a cool tone contour, go for the shade Gentle. If you like a bit more of a bronzy contour, it's still a contour, but it's more of like a brontour, I guess, then you might prefer the shade Mellow. It's still a little bit dark for the lightest shade. Like if you've got super fair skin, just use it sparingly. But these are not as pigmented as the blushes. Then for the e.l.f, I actually think the shade that looks the most like a contour shade is in Fair Light. And these do actually say bronzer and contour, so they're supposed to do kind of both. The more warm shade is the shade Light. They do look fairly similar to the Rare Beauty shades. I would say the e.l.f one looks more orangey than the Rare Beauty shade in Mellow. And they also sent this one, which is called Light/Medium. But something that's really confusing me is the light medium. I don't know if you can even pick that up on camera. It's got shimmer in it, like loads of golden shimmer. The others don't seem to have that, which is kind of odd. Okay, so let's use Fair Light. It's got the same applicator as the e.l.f liquid blushes, which I really like. Let's do the same little dot technique down my nose. And then on my cheeks, let's do a couple of dots. And then bring it onto my eyes as well. I do like the Rare Beauty contour product. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a lot warmer, can you tell? So this one I say is more of a cream bronzer rather than a cream contour, the e.l.f one that is. And it's definitely more pigmented, can you see that? The difference in my eyes, you know what, I'm just gonna bring the excess onto this side just so they look a bit more even. But what I was gonna say is I like the Rare Beauty contour product. I think it's nice. It's definitely more sheer than their cream bronzer. You know the cream bronzer and Happy Soul that I love? That was in, I think, my 2023 favorites video. It's still a favorite of mine. I love that bronzer. The bronzers, like the cream bronzer sticks, are definitely more pigmented. So if you like something that's a bit more pigmented and a bit more warm toned, you are probably going to prefer the bronzer sticks, whereas if you like something that's a bit more sheer, you're probably going to prefer the Rare Beauty contours, and obviously more cool toned. Okay, something that I'm noticing, the e.l.f side is definitely more warm. Do you see? It's more of like a true bronzer. And I would say the e.l.f side is definitely more pigmented. A bit more matte as well. Like it's not as easily blendable. However, I feel like that's still blended really nicely. e.l.f side, Rare Beauty side. This side to me looks like more of a shadow. And I think it's got a little bit more glow to it. The product feels a little bit thinner. Whereas the e.l.f product feels a little bit thicker and almost like a little bit stickier as you blend it out. However, I like both. They're both nice. I do slightly prefer the formula of the Rare Beauty just because it was a little bit more blendable. I kind of wish that I split this into 2 videos and did like a new in drugstore and then just a general new in. However, there is actually a lot of new stuff that I've seen when I was just like having a walk around Boots the other day. So maybe I could do like a full new in at the drugstore video anyway, because I'm sure there's some stuff that I've missed. The next thing that I'm gonna try, I'm so excited about these. So Robert Welsh, who is another YouTuber, he's a friend of mine, he did a collab with Fui, which I have seen these little pudding blushes. Is that what they're called? Are they called pudding pots? Blurry pudding pots. I have seen these on TikTok and they look so satisfying. I should probably just show you. But Robert did a collab with them and these are little boxes that I believe are sold out. I think they are actually sold out immediately. And I felt really bad because he sent them to me over Christmas time. I was away over Christmas in Cornwall for a week. Then I got back and then by that point they'd already sold out. So by the time I even opened my parcel, I mean, well done to Robert. Obviously that's amazing that they'd sold out, but then I was like, oh no, I didn't even post it before they sold out. But I still want to try them anyway because you can still get, I just broke the box. You can still get the Fui pudding pots themselves. And who knows, maybe they will do a restock if there's enough demand. I don't know how it works. But thank you so much, Robert, for sending me these. What is the keyring supposed to be? Lip and cheek blurry pudding pots. And this is a Korean brand, I believe. It says soft and velvety texture gives you airbrushed skin. I think I want to do these shades. Sun-Kissed Coral, which is 17. Wait, but I'm so confused. Like, this is such a cute little keyring, but it's just like a little empty pan. Are you supposed to like decant some of the product into the keyring? I don't know. But they had the day beauty box, which comes with some of the lighter shades, and then they had the night beauty box, which came with some of the darker shades. I'm gonna go for this one, which is called 17. Look at the packaging for these. It looks like a little mushroom. Actually, it looks like a little mochi, or like, I want to take I want to take a bite of that, but it's that like matte glass that I just know that would feel horrible on my teeth. The packaging is adorable, and then you open it up and it looks like this. Maybe that's gonna be too dark. Oh, that actually looks like, okay, no, you know what, let's have a look at the shade My. Oh my. I just love the packaging. Ooh, interesting. That one looks a bit darker. Let me just take I've literally taken the tiniest little amount. Maybe that's more my shade. And to apply these, I'm gonna take my double-ended IT Cosmetics brush and I'm just gonna dip. Oh my god, the texture of these. Bouncy. I'm scared to put too much. A little bit onto my cheek. Because the pot is so small, you can't really get your brush in there. And then I'm going to use the other side of my brush to blend it out. Okay, I need a bit more than that. Yeah, you know what? I can get my finger in there. Oh my god, the texture is literally like mousse. It feels kind of nice though. Wait, it says you can put it on your lips as well. I was so scared to take some, but they actually blend out super, super sheer. Maybe I should have gone for a darker shade. I have never tried this type of blush before, like a moussey texture kind of blush. So I'm not sure like the best way to apply it. Let's try taking a little bit more on this side. I mean, it blends super easily. Okay, maybe I just needed a bit more because that's fine. I wasn't expecting them to be so matte. It's literally like a fully matte blush. And I know that a lot of K-beauty is a lot more subtle in terms of the colours. Like a lot of their eyeshadows are super muted. But yeah, you definitely need more than you think you're gonna need. So I would say if you're looking at the different shades, maybe go for a darker shade than you think that you're gonna need. I'm gonna try adding a dot of the other shade where originally I was like, that looks like it's gonna be too dark. Maybe I should have just gone with this one. This one is in 17. Okay, yeah, maybe I should have just started with this shade. That one definitely packs more of a punch. I would recommend if you are my skin tone and you like a lot of blush and you are wanting to get one of these, maybe go for the shade 17 because that one definitely is a lot more pigmented. Interesting. Personally, not something I'd reach for every day just because I prefer my blushes to have a bit more pigment and also because the packaging is quite small. It's difficult to get your brush in there, although my finger does fit in there to then kind of like dot it on. But if anybody knows of either a different technique or a different brush maybe to use with these, let me know because I love the packaging. I think they're so cute. So for my powder, I have got two. I've got a new one from Lottie London, which is the Ready Set Go Under Eye Setting Powder, but in brightening pink. I'm gonna give this a try. I know I've had some mixed opinions on pink powders in the past, but this one actually looks like it's quite light. And then I've got the new e.l.f. Halo Glow Pressed Filter Powder, and I think this is the lightest shade. Fair, neutral, cool. But to me, that looks quite dark, which scares me. But it does come with a mirror and it comes with this little puff as well, which is really handy. I'm a little bit scared to use this under my eyes because I think it's supposed to be like a glowy... I mean, I can try it. We can try it on one side. But from what I've seen people using this sort of like in the center of their forehead and to set areas of their face where they don't mind a little bit of glow. And I feel like maybe that will look a bit weird under the eyes, but will I try it anyway? Yes, I will. Okay. I quite often find, you know what, I'm just going to use my regular Trigwell. I mean, that is fine if you don't have a powder puff, but this is just bigger and easier to apply the product. I find with a lot of pressed powders, I used to use them all the time to set like my whole face, and then, oh, this has a little bit of coverage actually. That looks nice. I was expecting it to feel a lot heavier, but actually that feels quite nice and thin. Looks pretty good, you know? Better than I thought. I thought under my eyes it was going to look awful, but on the other side, I want to try this Lottie London pink powder. So let's see how we get on with this. Yeah, weirdly, I find with a lot of pressed powders that they don't set my under eyes very well. Like, they always end up creasing, which is weird because I used to use pressed powders all the time, and then I discovered loose powder and kind of haven't looked back since. Okay, let's try this pink stuff. Blend, dip. It is very finely milled. I've just pressed that all over my jeans. Not pressed it, blown it all over my jeans. I don't know what I'm saying. Cool. Well, you can definitely tell the difference in terms of like the coverage. You can see the e.l.f. one has added a bit of coverage, whereas this one has just kept my coverage the same. Wow, that feels so smooth though. I'm at my lightest and a lot of the time, like, Huda Beauty. Nothing against Huda Beauty, but their pink powder is pink. No, I will not be trying that new lilac powder. To me, that looks like hell. I'm so sorry. Like, I know people have been loving it, but like, what? Each to their own. That's why makeup is fun. People have different preferences. But this one actually doesn't look insane. It's got a very slight pink tint, but I don't really think you can tell, which is a good thing. Like, I like a little bit of subtle pink. If I'm gonna put any pink under my eyes, I like it to be subtle. I like it to be light. I don't like it to look like I've got a problem. I think on the rest of my face, now that I have tested this, I think I'm going to even things out with the e.l.f. powder. The e.l.f. powder definitely has more coverage, and thankfully, I don't know why in the pan it looks like it's going to be too dark. On my face, doesn't look too dark. I also like how it has a little bit of coverage. The Lottie London powder is definitely thinner in texture. It feels more lightweight, and it hasn't wrinkled as much. Well, it's not like clung to the fine lines under my eyes as much. So even though the e.l.f. one has definitely got more coverage, I don't know if you can see it looks a little bit more cakey underneath my eye. I I feel like it's clung to the lines a little bit more and like given me a bit more texture. Let's see actually if I add a bit of the e.l.f. one under this eye, if it will give me a little bit more coverage as well. That's looking really nice. On the rest of my face, I'm going to use a brush. Let's see what happens on my forehead. Because I think the idea of this is supposed to be similar to the Halo Glow loose powder, which I am a fan of that powder. However, definitely more for like dry skin days. I'm sure if you have like really oily skin, you're probably not going to like that. But I feel like this one so far is looking a little bit less glowy than the loose version. Okay, I don't know what has happened to this part of my forehead at the moment. I'm going to show you so you can like see the actual texture. I had loads of little spots pop up, like only on this side. Not even really on this side. Sorry, I'm literally right next to the mic. But can you see the texture here? I do feel like the powder has emphasized that texture a little bit. So if you do have textured skin, I don't actually really know. Is there glow? Okay, yeah, I feel like compared to a regular powder, there's like an ever so slight light reflecting property. It's not shiny, but it's just not completely matte. I don't really know how to explain it. You're probably not gonna go for that if you've got textured and kind of like acne, but I do feel like it's emphasized the texture here. I think it must really depend on your skin type. It's not the kind of powder that's going to work well for everyone. If you have been enjoying this, please tell me one, how you've been using it, and two, what is your skin type. I'm going to add a teeny bit of powder bronzer, which, you know what, Rare Beauty, if you're watching, they're not going to be watching. You know what I want to see from Rare Beauty next, and what I was kind of hoping their next launch was going to be? Radiant Baked bronzers. I just know that they would kill it with the shade range. Like, hopefully that's coming next, because I think that's the only thing from Rare Beauty that I don't have a full face of. And then for my powder blush, I'm gonna take this new one from Kosas. They sent me over a few of the shades, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. Let me just open it up and have a look. This looks like the most me kind of shade. It's a slightly peachy shade. It's called Dreamland Blush is Life. You know what? I have to agree. Oh, it's very dusty. It's kind of reminding me of old school blushes, like the Milani ones. When I dig my brush in there, there's a lot of dust flying about. Oh, actually, that's blending really nicely. I only need a little bit because I still feel like a lot of that other blush is poking through. Ooh, that looks nice. It's got an ever so slight glow to it. Can you see like on my nose, the end of my nose there? But it's really not, it's not like super glowy, but it's just very soft. It's quite a natural blush shade. I like that, just as like a little top up. Okay, this is where I'm scared. So I saw Jordan Lipscomb review these on TikTok. Actually, the first person that I saw review these was the person that made me immediately buy this. Oh my God, wait, hang on. Laura has just messaged me. She has ordered the Rode lip liners. Apparently they're back in stock. Quick! Oh shit, which shade do I want? Did they sell them in a bundle? £92. I don't think I want 4 shades. I think I just want 2. What's the shade that Tate McRae is wearing? Oh my God, somebody show me swatches. I just had a 20-minute break while I ordered the new Rode lip liners. And then I completed my order and was like, shit, I forgot to add a blush. I've been wanting to try the cream blushes from Rode since they launched. I've just gone back and it says like during high traffic times we cannot amend your order. So I just did a second order and paid again for shipping to get a blush, so I hope it's good. This is what I've been waiting for. I saw Anna Honora. She has the most incredible skin I've ever seen, ever, anyway. She posted about these L'Oreal Lumi Le Glace highlighter sticks. They have some other ones which don't look as nice, and I saw Jordan test those as well. They're like not the glass ones, they're a different type. But I got one of the Le Glace ones. I went for the shade Glassy Pink Ballet, because I thought if this is gonna be like a blush topper highlight, I'm gonna go for the pinkish shade, and normally I hate this kind of formula, so I'm so curious to see what I'm gonna think, but these look next level. It actually kind of melts onto your skin, and then it has some reflective pearliness in there, but it's mostly just the balm texture, and people are putting this over the top of powder and it's not disturbing their makeup, so I'm just gonna take what's on my hand and pat that. I'm so nervous for this. Normally I hate this formula, but I saw Jordan use it over the top of her powder. I saw Anna use it on her face, and it just looked so incredibly stunning that I literally ordered it on Amazon Prime immediately. So I'm just going to take some on my finger first. Let's take some on the bottom of my beauty blender. I saw in Jordan's video, I think she tried drawing it directly on her face, and she was like, don't do that because it will remove your your makeup. Hang on a sec. I don't want to blend it too close to my under eye because I don't want that to affect things. Wait, can you see the glow? You know what I'm going to try it with? I just feel like this will work well. But this is the Refa Alexandra Enel brush. This is so good for kind of cream products and gently patting. So I'm going to take some on this brush and I'm just going to gently pat that. Oh my god, I'm getting my hair stuck in it. Okay, normally I don't like leaving stickiness on my cheeks because of things like this. My hair gets stuck to it and that gives me a bit of like a However, if you were to apply this not in patting motions, it's gonna disturb your makeup underneath. But if you lightly pat this, like on that side, this looks even nicer than when I did it with the beauty blender. It is a more subtle glow. Maybe it's just like the lighting that I'm in at the moment, but it definitely does bring back that kind of wet look to your skin. Let's add some to my nose. Let's take some of my finger and add it to my nose. Put a little bit up here. I feel like you can only really see it sort of from the side. The only highlighters that I've tried where I actually like the look of it, there was one from Revolution that I've tried before, which was like the squeezable glowy blush drops. And also the best thing that I found that actually sits nice on top of powder was the REM Beauty Galinda Glow Drops from the Wicked collection. This is up there with the cream and liquid products that usually I would hate, but they actually work surprisingly well. What I usually do to get this effect is use a setting mist that's got a little bit of like oiliness to it. But if you didn't want to do that, this does work.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. It's all happening, guys. First I got distracted by my road order. Then James got home from work and he came in and was like, do you want to order food? And I was like, duh. I'm glad that he did because I went and looked in a different mirror from a different perspective. And I feel like now that this has settled on my face a bit, I really actually can see it. Let me see if I can change up my lighting a little bit. It really depends kind of on the light how this looks, but definitely doing what it's supposed to do. This side looks so much better because on this side, I brought it too close up to my under eye. So I think I'm just going to go back in and then it started to crease my under eyes. So I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of powder. I feel like on this side it looks a bit better, but wow, I went and looked in another mirror and I was like, I am glowing. And I don't understand how it hasn't really badly separated my foundation. It looks weirder on this side because it kind of, there's like a matte section that stops here. The side with the brush and just like gently tapping it definitely worked a lot better. But can you see, it's actually retained my blush underneath and it doesn't look horribly textured. I don't really understand how because most of these things do that, but I would go as far to say I would use that again. And I'm gonna try and use it again and incorporate it into my makeup because I really like the effect that that gives. And obviously it still feels like super sticky. That's the one thing I don't like. I don't like the idea that it's gonna get all in my, like my hair's gonna get in it, but in terms of how it looks on my skin, it looks really nice. Just while I'm doing the rest of my face, this is gonna look a little bit odd, but I'm gonna use one of these NYX lip stain things, the Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serums. Full disclosure, I have got an ad that is either gonna be up before this video or after this video on my TikTok of these lip products. Just to let you know that. However, this video is not sponsored in any way, and I just would like to show you how these work because initially I was just testing this shade, which is called Hydra Honey, which is actually my favorite shade. It's like a really pretty, let me just show you quickly. It's like a light brown but with a hint of mauve. But the formula of these, it doesn't feel like a normal lip gloss. I mean, they're called a hydrating gloss serum, and that's kind of how I would describe it. It feels as thick as a regular lip gloss and they have quite a lot of pigment to them, but then the texture is more like a lip oil. Your lips kind of slip around over the top of each other without, like, it's literally not sticky at all, like none of that stringiness, and I really like the formula. But what I was going to say is originally I was testing this one, the Hydra Honey shade, and I was like, I love the formula. It leaves behind a light pink stain, but because this color is lighter, the stain is not as intense when you wipe it off as the slightly darker shades. Let me see, like I've only had it on for like a minute, but when I left this on all day and I was like eating and drinking and stuff, as it wore off, it just left behind a really nice like subtle pink tint. It just leaves behind a very subtle pink stain. When it's on all day, it does get a little bit darker, but I'm gonna put on the shade Mocha Me Wet, and oh my god, like the red and the dark berry shade, those stains are a lot more intense. This one is more of like a brown mauve, but I really like the stain that this one leaves behind. For my eyebrows, I'm going to be testing for the first time, I don't know why I've not tested this yet, the Rare Beauty brow gel. I've seen so many people speaking about this on TikTok recently. Can you see the product on like the end of that? That is a good sign that this is going to be a good brow gel. I've seen a lot of people saying that this has got such good hold. Wow, actually it really feels very sticky. I've had this for a while. I did get sent it when it first launched and I don't know why I didn't try it. Wow, yeah, it feels really sticky. I'm just gonna use this sleek brow pencil in the shade Ash Brown. Okay, I don't think this brow pencil is actually gonna be dark enough. And then for my eyes, I got a very exciting PR delivery from Half Magic, and they have launched a fully recyclable, reusable palette. So it says, see website for recycling details, but very cool packaging for starters. And it has a mirror, which does pop out. And this is actually like cardboard, but I guess like reinforced cardboard. And then this bit comes out as well, and this is like a magnetic pan, because their eyeshadows come in these little compostable things. And I had a couple of the shades already. I had Blushing Lizard, which I love. These eyeshadows are insane. You take the label off and then you poke the bottom of the pan. Okay. Oh shit! No, this was not meant for me because I've just dug my fucking fingernail into that. And then you stick the little name label on the back and then you put it in your little pan. Ta-da! It did also have the shade Immaculate, which again, stunning glittery blue shade. And then they sent a couple of new ones in the package. Unicorn Core, which is like a light blue that reflects purple. We have also got Electric Butterfly. Oh, this sounds like a bit of me. This one is like a purpley blue. They look so similar. This one's just a bit more purple, this one's a bit more blue. This one's Unicorn Core, this one is Electric Butterfly. Electric Butterfly is that one. Wow. Unicorn Core is that one. Let me just do the original shade that I had, which is probably my favourite, next to it, which is that one there. Immaculate is definitely the most glittery, I think, and sparkly. That is that one there. And the last shade is called Swamp Goddess. I love green and blue eyeshadows. Oh, this one? It has to be this one. It matches my bodysuit. Oh, yes. Can you see that there? Oh, Half Magic, you are just the best. They sent the silver shade of the Glitter Puck. The Glitter Puck from Half Magic is one of my favourite products ever. It's so versatile, but this is a new shade called Cyber Diamond, which is a silver version. The original one is like a pinky rose goldy. Don't cry, 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 don't cry. It has just shattered into my lap. I'm gonna try and pick up the pieces without breaking them. How can I be that stupid? That did not just happen. I guess I'm never taking this anywhere with me. It's just broken into 3 pieces and I've literally got bits of glitter all over my lap, like chunks. Okay, let's try and put them back in. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, and our food's here. Good time to take a break. You know what? I will be back. I'm just gonna take off this stain to show you how it looks. You see? You see how it just leaves behind this nice mauvey kind of My Lips But Better sort of stain? Let's see how this lasts through my dinner. I'll be right back. And I'm back from dinner. How has my lip stain lasted? I feel like it's held up pretty well. It's maybe a little bit less pigmented than it was earlier. Like before I ate my dinner, I did just have a burger and chips. But I can still see some of that colour. I just feel like I need a bit of lip balm now though, that's the only thing. I'm gonna put a bit of lip balm. So where were we? I think I was breaking eyeshadow all over my leg. And I am gonna use the Swamp Goddess shade. So I'm just actually gonna go straight in with my finger on to my eyelid. Oh my god, that is so stunning. The formula of these eyeshadows is just beautiful. They feel so thin, but they're so pretty and like sparkly and reflective, and wow. You can even see with this one, when I have my head to the front, the outer corner of my eye looks more pink and the inner looks more green. That is the duochrome pigments. Wow. Literally just applying it with my finger, and I'm gonna bring that over my whole lid. And I think these kind of duochrome shades are a way of wearing colour that's a little bit less intimidating than a straight up green eyeshadow, because this kind of reflects green only in some lights. They're not as intimidating as like a bright green eyeshadow. I'm gonna put some of that on my lower lash line as well. I am just gonna take some of that Glitter Puck, even though it's broken, because it's like a wet formula. I feel like I can sort of smush it. I have smushed it back together. I just will not be turning it upside down anytime soon. I'm gonna take some of this on my brush, and I'm just gonna put it in this inner part of my lid, just there, kind of like in my crease almost. Put a little bit on my inner corners. And this definitely works better with your finger, I find, but just to get that precise application, I'm gonna use my brush. I'm gonna take a bit of my Amazing. This might be a bit much in terms of the colours that I've used. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this just on my outer corners. I don't know, I just feel like I need a little bit of depth. just a tiny bit. So I have these, which were sent over from Kosas, and these are their Soul Gazer Intensifying Gel Eyeliners. I'm going to use the shade Allure, which is like a dark, cool toned brown, and these are twistable. That does almost look black. Is there a smudger on the end? No, but there is a sharpener. Oh wait, I feel like there's a smudger as well. Yeah, there is. It's like a little silicone smudger, so that is actually a really nice consistency. Also, the fact I can use the tip of this little smudger to do the wing is really cool. I would definitely use that again. I really like the formula of that. Then I'm gonna set my face, and for this I have got the Fenty Beauty You Mist Makeup Extending Setting Spray. I loved the original Fenty setting mist, but it wasn't the type of setting mist that is supposed to prolong your makeup. It was more to like make your face dewy, whereas this one I think is supposed to prolong your makeup. I'm gonna take my bronzer and do a nice big swatch of that on my hand. Oh, I would go as far to say that is the perfect makeup mister. It feels like it's distributing the product so evenly, but it's a fine mist and it feels like it's actually getting my whole face. So I've sprayed some on my hand. I'm gonna let it sit and dry, and then I'll do a little smudge test. In the meantime, while this is drying, I'm gonna do my lips. Actually, I'll come back to the mascara. I do have the Benefit one. For my lips, I'm going to try one of the new MAC lipsticks. I did get sent this one in PR. This shade is called Cool Teddy. So this is Velvet Teddy, the original. Also, I'm kind of sad about the packaging. I know they like to switch things up, but this is the old MAC packaging versus the new MAC packaging. I just prefer the old one. It's got like a slight sparkly finish, whereas this one's matte, and I feel like this one just looks a bit cheaper. It's also bigger. That looks cool. There is a subtle difference. This is the original Velvet Teddy. This is Cool Teddy. Velvet Teddy's just a little bit more pink toned, I think. Also, now that my face is dried, I feel like it's left a bit of a sort of sheen. But because my oils are already coming through, it's looking like a bit of a mess, so I might need to just add a touch more powder. It feels like a slight sticky layer on my hand. I don't know whether to test this already. Okay. Okay. I was like going in tentatively, like, is this gonna smudge everywhere? No! Oh, Fenty have smashed that. Completely different from their other one, but with the same kind of fine mist. And it still manages to give a little bit of a sheen, which is nice. That's my favourite kind of setting mist. The formula feels the same as the classic standard MAC matte lipsticks. Comfortable, but still matte. I like that. And this is the new mascara from Benefit, which is called the Bounce Bad Gal Mascara. And this has got two brushes in one. So one side is more kind of longer bristles, they're a little bit more chunky. The other side is essentially like the roller lash brush. And I did try this the other day when it arrived because I was just really curious. And I was actually quite shocked at how dry the formula is. And I normally like quite like a fairly dry formula so that it actually grips your lashes and stays in your lashes as you're combing through. But this one, almost like I want a little bit more product to get on the brush because I felt like I had to dip in quite a few times. But even the side that's supposed to give you the volume is really good at brushing out clumps. The original Benefit Bad Gal Bang, when I first tried that mascara, I was like, this is the best mascara I've ever tried. And then throughout the day, it smudged on me and I was so disappointed. But this one claims to be smudge proof. I wore it the other day for about 6 hours and it did not transfer. However, so I'm just switching to the other brush side now. I feel like I need to wear this for a full day and put it really to the test. I had a couple, literally like 2 tiny little dots that had like almost like fallen off and like flaked onto my skin, but I was pleasantly surprised. I find weirdly this goes a little bit clumpier on my lower lashes than it does on my top lashes. But it definitely works to build volume. But so far so good. The only thing I don't like about it is that I wish it just deposited a bit more product onto the brush so that I don't have to dip in so many times. I'm sure you will agree, like my lashes look pretty good. It's good at volumizing and lengthening them and actually like sticking them up, which is great. I'm filming this clip on another day, but an update on the Benefit mascara. I have now been wearing this for almost 9 hours, I would say, and I'm happy to report there is no smudging, which with the original Benefit Bad Gal Bang I do get that. With roller lash is usually fine. This one has not transferred where it's kind of like left me with smudges. Like usually with mascaras, a lot of mascaras, because my skin is so oily, usually with a lot of mascaras I will get little like smudgy dots sort of all dotted under my eyes, and up here I'll sometimes get a few little smudgy lines. I do not have that with this mascara. However, there's a couple, I've noticed there's one there, let's just flick that off. I noticed there was one on my nose here. There's a couple of tiny little flakes that have sort of, you see there's like a couple there of just like little flakes, but I think they should just sort of like brush away. Okay, maybe not that one, but I'm so happy that it has not smudged and given me like the panda eyes sort of effect. So there's a tiny little bit of flaking, but not actual like smudging, which is great. Also, if I was to do a what's new at the drugstore kind of video, testing video, please let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to see that I've not shown today. I would definitely say with the powder, this side under my eye is looking smoother. It looks like a little bit less coverage, but it's not as sort of wrinkly looking as this side. Like, actually, this one looks more wrinkly when I smile, but I have more wrinkles here anyway. What I mean is I feel like on this side, the powder has sort of almost separated a little bit more into these lines, which is a shame. I think I would just not use as much of the powder. Maybe I laid it on a bit thick, but I wouldn't use it underneath my eyes. I would use something different and then probably just use the powder to set the rest of my face. I really tested quite a lot of products there. There are definitely some things in here that I think I'm gonna start incorporating into my daily makeup routine. Probably the liquid bronzers from both e.l.f. and Rare Beauty. L'Oreal thing, I'm gonna try and continue to use that more. This, the MAC lipstick, I love this shade. I will link everything down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are doing good. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And subscribe if you like beauty content. If you want to see some more long form, chilled makeup videos, then please subscribe. I would love that. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.